you, I'm Evie Driver and welcome to another video. I am the proud mother of Gravity Rising, which is my debut novel to be published in 2019. It is young adult science fiction futuristic fantasy for the genres, so if that interests you or if you're interested in my author journey, consider subscribing down below. Today we're going to specifically look at pantsers because I feel like everyone should go into the month of November with a little bit of prep, a little bit of planning. If you or someone you know are pantsers, this is definitely going to be a really handy video because I have a free printable that I made and it's super pretty. See, it's super pretty. I made this. Like, I made it. It's so pretty. It's 10 pages long. This printable is available on my website. If you would like the guide, definitely consider subscribing to my author website. I will post every month or so, here and there. And closer to betas, I will be actually asking for betas. So if you want to beta read Gravity Rising, that is the opportunity and that is the key to winning the golden ticket. So this guide is called 5 NaNoWriMo Actions for Pantsers. The reason why I wanted to focus on pantsers for prep, which might sound a little backwards, is because I used to be a pantser myself. In 2016, I actually did do my first NaNoWriMo and it blew. I wrote 56,000 words, give or take, and literally it was garbage. And so I deleted all of it and I have never looked back because I was able to discover Gravity Rising shortly after doing that. For those of you who don't know about the whole Gravity Rising origin, I will eventually make that video. Today's not that day. I wanted to kind of pay an homage to our friendly neighborhood pantsers out there because I feel like Nano Prep is focused so much on like the planners and the plotters that I feel like we kind of forget about our friends over in the pantsing community. I'm kind of a bit of both. I have an outline. I believe in outlining, but my outlining process is massively different from everybody who's like a stringent plotter. I retain so much information in my head and I can do that. If I ever get like amnesia or something, like it would suck because I would never have it written down. But for the most part, most of everything that goes into Gravity Rising, the world, the characters, the plot, the story, everything in here. And that's just what works for me. But I still like having a written outline because it allows me to stay the course, if you will. But I'm not here to try and tell you that you need an outline. That's not why I'm going into this. A lot of this draft is actually like pants content. I did like a quick summation of what I thought should happen and then I let my imagination take me to wherever it wanted to. I definitely love pantsing. I think it's a very, very great strength. It can also be a weakness, depending on how unorganized you are, but that's the whole point of this video. So this is a really long intro, but I really just wanted to kind of give my side. So in this guide, you'll find 5 actions to take for NaNoWriMo, and it's not literally no outlining whatsoever. There's no plot, you know, the falling action, rising action, none of that stuff. I left all of that out because I feel like if you're a pantser, you just want a quick startup guide to organizing some things and try to make an action plan and take that into NaNoWriMo. That way, if you hit a rut or writer's block, you know, hits or whatever, you would have this guide to kind of help you through everything. You would have, you know, I don't want to spoil it all, but there is an entire page dedicated to playlist URLs or like the titles of playlists. Playlists for me, I made a whole video about music. It'll be linked up there. And I just wanted to kind of go through a little bit here and there because the guide doesn't make sense until I make my videos, so I made this definitely with my Nano Prep videos in mind. I wanted to kind of explain it because I feel like whenever people open this up and they see something like favorite cliches, aren't you never supposed to write with cliches? Guys, I have a video planned for the month of October as to why everyone in NaNoWriMo should actually use cliches. Separate time, separate topic. I will get to it eventually. I just think that it's important, and if you are following my series, you need this because for me it worked massively. Also, another head scratcher probably is going to be tropes I love. The reason why I included this is very similar. I really love tropes. I'm trash. I just really like the fact that you can use tropes to kind of inspire like a comedy storyline or maybe inspire like a character to blossom in your work in progress or whatever. I like to have these written down before NaNoWriMo, just in case if I don't know what to write. I have a couple of ideas and they're written down, and I'm not committed to them because I'm not planning them, but they're there for help if you need it. The whole point of this guide is definitely to have helpful areas of my writing process. This, again, please note, this is me and my writing process. This is my channel. It's obvious, but a lot of people might like take what I'm saying as like fact or like the ultimate truth, and that's just not the case. I am only one writer on AuthorTube. I do what I do because it works for me. This is, I think, really helpful for pantsers in particular, because there's no outlining whatsoever in there. It's literally like an all-in-one place for you to access information if you have a breaking computer, or if Google Docs has suddenly completely erased your entire manuscript and you have to start from scratch mid-month. I can only imagine. I've heard horror stories. This is going to be a really handy, all-inclusive guide that if you have any requests, I can definitely add to it. It's not like complete by any means, but I wanted to have something like this in 2016, which is why I created it, because even though I'm not a pantser anymore, I'm still going to probably fill this out for myself, because my writing project in NaNoWriMo, yeah, I have an outline for that project, and it's definitely going to stick to most of the outline. There's magic that happens when I pants, like certain things that I'd never thought about just click in that moment when I'm writing and I'm in my most productive headspace. And it's that moment that I love to capitalize on, because a lot of my plot actually stems from those moments where I'm just like writing and I'm just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if this happened or that? Why is this happening? What if this happened? That would be so much cooler. Another thing I'd like to mention is that this guide isn't set up for like nailing anything down. This isn't, again, an outline. This is a guide that will allow you to have one place to store everything you can possibly imagine. Like if there's a space in this that you can actually write down some of your favorite cool character names. It's literally called Cool Character Names. And I did this because I'm obsessed with names, and sometimes whenever you're pantsing your ass off, you create a character, and if you're anything like me, you cannot physically write until you give this character a name. It doesn't have to be final, but you have to give it a name, you know? The character isn't a character without a name, at least to me. It's a ridiculous thing, but it's one of my writing quirks, I guess you can say, and I like having this on hand because it can be a repository for all of the cool names that you want to consider. You know, you're not really committed to anything, but they're there for you if you need a really quick way to get off the internet. And finally, there is a emergency list of sticky situations. I, again, will have a complete video dedicated to what that is, how you can set that up, what all of that stuff is. So the reason why I did this is because I think that having sticky situations can help you align an idea with a conflict point, or like a plot point that you're stuck on, but you need like a transition. A specific example is one of my favorites. It's a character goes in a bar and leaves with a husband. You know, sticky situations, stuff like that. And having these on hand will definitely help you kind of, if you're in a rut or if you are panicking because your laptop has exploded and you need, you know, to write 4,000 words in a 1 hour situation. It allows you to kind of go through your head and just kind of spark some inspiration. That's the whole point of this guide, is to spark inspiration when you need it most. I know a lot of people turn off the internet, they turn off anything that they can possibly think of, because NaNoWriMo is like a serious thing. I am not one of those writers, but I do think that this will help people who love turning off the internet when they write. Because if you need a sticky situation, if you need a cool character name, if you need like a cool little subplot that is inspired by a trope or a cliche or whatever, they're on paper for you, or they're on your hard drive. You know, like, you can do whatever you want with this. You don't have to print it out. You don't have to, you know, leave it on your laptop. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's anywhere at all times. What I would recommend, what I'm probably going to do, is I'm going to print it out, and then I'm going to keep it with my little creative notebook that I outline everything in. So it's probably going to come with me every single place that I go. This might, I was worried about making this video because it might be common sense, but for me, when I was like a strict pantser and I went into NaNoWriMo with nothing, no outline, nothing, no playlists, nothing. This is all stuff that I'm just like, why can't this exist? And so I finally just decided I'm gonna do it. I want to focus on pantsers because y'all don't get enough love. So here I am giving all of you love. Or if you're just interested in having like an offline repository of plot ideas or character names or whatever, and you want to physically write them down, maybe this guide could be for you. I have no idea, but I really just genuinely want to help anyone in need in NaNoWriMo, because I hate NaNoWriMo. I don't recommend it or wish it on anybody, but here I am doing it, and here we all do it. And anything that I can do to make it easier on either myself or you, it's always a win. Again, you can get the guide. It's free on my website. All you have to do is subscribe to my website and you'll have immediate access to it. Nothing complicated. So that's all I have for you today. Probably the last person on the internet to have not found like prep for pantsers or whatever, but I haven't found it for myself. I didn't find it in 2016 and I haven't found it since. So with that, I really appreciate your time, and if you would consider giving this video a like or subscribing to my channel and becoming a part of my author journey. Anyway, you can still follow me on all of my social media at Evie Driver, or you could also visit my author website to get this guide as well as just plain old information about what I do, what I am, and what's going on. When you follow me, you get me. I live on the internet. I love chatting. It's a good part of this platform thing. Let me know in the comments below what you got out of this video. If you are downloading it and you see something that's not on there, definitely give me a holler and I will do my best to add and accommodate anything that you need. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you in my next video. Bye.